Yeah. Okay. You recording? Yes. So I'm going from outer to inner. So this is the frontal bone, and these two side bones are the parietal bone, and then the backbone here, occipital bone. This crossed cut is the coronal suture. Then you have the sagittal suture, and then the lambdoid suture. On the side is the squamous suture. Then you have the temporal bone, the zygomatic bone, the zygomatic process, the external acoustic meatus, the lacrimal bone, the lacrimal fossa, that hole right there, the nasal bone, the vomer, the ethmoid bone, also right here. Now when I turn inferior, you have the mastoid process, the styloid process, you have the occipital condyle. This hole here is the foramen magnum. You have the mandibular fossa, the jugular foramen, the carotid canal, whatever. Also, the palatine process plate and the palatine bone. And then working our way down. This is C1, the first cervical vertebrae, which is also known as the atlas, and it sits on top of the axis, which is C2. This here is the dens, and it sits like this. The C1 function is for you to move your head up and down. C2 function is for you to move left or right. Okay, C1 is the only one without a spinous process. This is the spinous process here. This is the transverse process, and the hole is the transverse foramen. This hole here is the vertebral foramen, and this here is the superior articular facet. Okay, this, since it goes down, is the thoracic vertebra because it's pointing downward and outward, whereas this is pointing forward and inward. It curves in. So this is the lumbar, and it's thicker as well for support. Oh yeah, this is the vertebral arch here, and around it, after the process, is the pedicle. Yeah, and around here is the lamina. Alright, working our way up. This is the clavicle, the right clavicle. This here in the middle of that is the jugular notch. This is the sternal angle. This here is the manubrium. This is the body of the sternum. And this is the xiphoid process, where this here is the costal cartilage, which it contains hyaline cartilage. Working our way back. This is the scapular. This here is the scapular spine, which is connects to the acromion, which connects to the acromial end. This here in the middle, which connects your humerus, is the glenoid cavity, and above the glenoid cavity is the coracoid process. This is the medial border, the lateral border, the superior angle, inferior angle. This is the humerus, the head of the humerus. And then you have the greater tubercle here. And beside that you have the lesser tubercle, which this crest right here is the deltoid tuberosity. Working our way down, you have the capitulum next to the trochlea, and in back of here, this hole here is the olecranon fossa. The middle bone here, that's the inner, is the medial epicondyle. Yeah. Then you have the radius and the ulna. The radius contains the head, the radial tuberosity, then the styloid process. The ulna contains the the olecranon process, the trochlea notch, and the radial notch down to the hand, which contains the carpals, the metacarpals, and the phalanges. Your first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. The only finger that doesn't have medial phalange is the thumb. This here is the scaphoid. Okay. Working over here. This is the pelvic. And the pelvic consists of the ilium, which is here, the ischium, which is like what you sit on. This is the iliac crest. Then you have the acetabulum. The anterior superior iliac spine, the anterior inferior iliac spine, and in the back you have the posterior superior iliac spine and the posterior inferior iliac spine down to the greater sciatic notch and the greater sciatic notch. Ooh.